Cześć, witam Cię bardzo serdecznie w kolejnym odcinku ze Starfielda. Zostaw kciuka, subskrypcję, dzwoneczek. Kontynuujemy naszego questa, którym jest prześwietlenie. W ostatnim odcinku włamaliśmy się w sumie do miejscówki, z której wzięliśmy questa, tak naprawdę, na zlecenie tego ziomeczka. Dobra. Przepraszam. Sprawdzam, która to jest ta broń, której ja używam. To jest chyba ta, nie? O matko. Tak, to jest ta teraz. Dobra. No tak jak mówiłem przy ostatnim nagrywaniu odcinka, niestety troszeczkę się przeziębiłem. Mogę kichać, tak jak przed chwilą było słychać, przepraszam bardzo. Nie zdążę za każdym razem wyciszyć mikrofonu niestety, chociaż bardzo bym chciał. No i też oczywiście może się zdarzyć, że pociągnę nosem. Tak jak niestety to miało miejsce teraz. Dobra, wróćmy sobie do tego typa. Pogadajmy z nim w jego chacie. Kurwa, to jest jego chata? Wygląda jak Matrix. Rozumiem, że to jest twoja sypialnia, typie, tak? Tutaj, tu śpisz, tak? To nie lepiej ci już na tej kanapie spać? Pierdolony haker. Ty, no w sumie, ale tak jakby nie patrzeć, to w sumie ja bym taki sobie gaming room zrobił, nie? Że mam, tak jak teraz mam 3 monitory, to jeszcze bym sobie tu pierdolnął 4 w postaci telewizora najlepiej. Takiego większego. Tu 3 monitorki tak jak są, kamera, mikrofon tak jak mam. W sumie mi niewiele już brakuje, nie? Do takiej opcji, tylko ten telewizor jeszcze bym tu na ścianę. No i playak, nie? Żeby sobie pograć jeszcze w jakieś gierki ekskluzywne z playaka. Ale playaka pewnie też niedługo kupię. Na razie chcę ograć Starfielda, dodatek do Cyberpunka i Assassin's Creed'a. Nie wiem, czy coś tam jeszcze wychodziło i czy coś w najbliższym czasie wychodzi. Ale najprawdopodobniej to są te produkcje, które bym w pierwszej kolejności ograł teraz, zamiast kupować playaka. Dobra, pogadajmy z Nyxem.
So, you made it. Guess Ryujin's security really is slipping. Just brimming with confidence, aren't you? But I've seen your work in the trade tower, so I'll at least give you some credit. Now, I'll take that program back that I gave you, and let's give the data a look. The program I gave you to run on Ularu's computer basically opens an all-access backdoor for me. I can see everything and anything, so let's take a look. Ularu has some impressive encryption on her files. Not that I can't crack it, of course. Circumventing protections, running decryption. This should just take a moment now. Damn, I'm good. That went faster than I thought. I'm saving several files to a slate for Dalton, including access history and anything related to Project Dominion. Adding in new encryption for him as well, so he's the only one that can view these. And done. You're all set. I've got the new encrypted slate. Let me tell you, it looks like fun times ahead for Ryujin. Technically, I'm not supposed to look, but it's kind of hard to not see what's going on while running all my software. Since you came through on your end, let's just say that slate isn't going to paint the best picture for Ms. Imogene Salzo. But bear in mind, you're dealing with some pretty talented people when it comes to falsifying information. I can be sure because I know my business. But like anything, evidence alone can't tell the full story. The rest is up to you and Dalton to piece together. Don't be too sure about that. Imogene was practically raised in the corporate underworld. I'd almost guarantee there's intent behind everything she does. Here's the slate. As usual, always a pleasure doing business with Ryujin.
Wróć do Daltona w wieży Ryuni, no. Dobra. Okej. Dołączcie się. Tak, najlepszy klub, tylko nie można się na drugie piętro dostać w tym klubie. Mimo, że bardzo się chce. Jak przybywasz tu bez pozwolenia? To będzie teraz ciekawe. Bo teoretycznie ich wszystkich wziąłem i... Nie mam pojęcia.
Well, I assume success is in order. I had a few reports, but at least nothing that set off any red flags. I figured as much. Lucky for us, he doesn't have any motive to use this information against us. Now, let's see what we have here. I didn't think it was possible. But someone's been accessing Ularu's files remotely. It's quite a complicated trace, too. I'm impressed Nix was able to track all of this. Damn. And there's our culprit. Imogen Salzo, Senior Operations Specialist, and one of the few I had in mind for who could pull this off. Well, the motive could be anything. Credits, grudges, even boredom. Either that, or she's highly displeased with someone at the company.
Imogen? She doesn't seem the type. But maybe that's her tactic. If she had me thinking that way, perhaps it proves that she's a master manipulator.
Well, before we make any harsh decisions, I'll need to question her myself. I want you to head to her office and escort her here. We have to make sure she doesn't try anything before I have a chance to speak with her. If she runs, the guilt will be apparent. And you'll have no choice but to dispose of her. As much as I'd like you to subdue her and bring her in, Imogen would never allow it. She knows what fate lies ahead for those who betray this corporation and get caught. I just want to avoid a scene. Sending you keeps the rumor mill at bay. Good. When you're dealing with corporate workers, discerning the truth from the lies is the hardest part.
Okej. Zapiszmy. Dobra, no bo zaraz się kurde do mnie wrogo nastawią już tak totalnie. Lećmy do działu operacyjnego. Na szczęście ich nie pomordowałem wtedy. Tylko i wyłącznie wziąłem i poobezwładniałem. Cieszą. O.
Let me guess. Looking for Imogen?
No, spierdoliła.
I'm sure you can tell by now. She isn't here, which is a shame since I have several documents I need her to sign off on. She's always been the master of avoiding desk work. She hasn't stepped into the office since the maintenance closure, probably abusing her paid time off again. I know for a fact she doesn't have any external meetings or business trips. Well, that desk work is what keeps your cred stick full, and this company 2 steps ahead. So why are you looking for Imogene? Is she in trouble? Aren't you the boring one? I have Imogene's last location at Frankie's Grab and Go, which we all know is a front for the Sioka Syndicate. You'll want to get executive sign-off if you plan on chasing after her. I'd say Dalton is your best bet.
Perhaps we need to get Dalton's permission to relieve ourselves as well. Good lord, this corporation keeps you on a short leash.
Is there an echo in the room? Yeah, Frankie's is a front. Crap convenience store on the outside, high-tech hideout on the inside. Of course, the only people that really know that are Ryujin Bayu and the Syndicate itself. Your guess is as good as mine, but she's up to something. I could tell she was trying to cover her tracks, but this is my job, and there's a reason I'm in charge of the technicians here. Good. I'd hate to see what sort of drama might get stirred up if you went around him, or maybe I'd love it. Keep the workplace interesting, right? Word of advice. If you're planning on foregoing authorization and just tiptoeing your way to Imogene, park your friend at the door. Two's a crowd if you're trying to lay low. Good luck finding Imogene. Oh, and if you do catch up with her, be sure to let her know I had everything to do with it.
No chyba porozmawiam z Daltonem, żeby wiedział, nie? Myślę, że ma to sens. Jeśli tak mu omówiliśmy wszystko, to myślę, że to też można powiedzieć na spokojnie.
No Imogene, I see. Could she really be on to us already? Of course, Yuko would know. If Imogene's with the Syndicate, I can't just send you after her. You'll need to speak with Benjamin Bayu. We have to make sure he's aware of the situation. If we're lucky, he may even help us get to Imogene. Bayu owns the Sioka Syndicate. For you to walk in there without discussing it with him first could be seen as a violation of our business relationship. Good, because without it, this adds a complexity that we do not have time for. Head over to the trade tower and be discreet. Let Bayu know that you're there on Ryujin's behalf. He may ask for credits or even a favor. Just give him what he wants. You're right. If he asks for anything, tell him I'll guarantee to support his fundraising proposal. You'll know what that means. Just be sure to bring her back here in one piece. If she's truly the mole, she'll have a lot to answer to. If she resists or tries to run, we have no choice but to take it as an admission of guilt. I'm afraid you'll have to dispose of her. The risk of Imogene continuing to operate as a traitor is too high. If we don't dispose of her now, she could cause a great deal of harm to this company. She knows the consequences of betraying Ryujin, which makes her dangerous. If the situation does take a turn for the worst, I only ask that you perform a thorough search for any evidence she may have in her possession. I trust you won't let your past relationship cloud your judgment.
No dobra, to lecimy. Musimy jeszcze porozmawiać z Baju Jaju. Żeby nie było, że mu wbijamy na teren tak po prostu. Teraz sobie tam pójdziemy najpierw w pierwszej kolejności oczywiście. Dobra, tam najpierw trzeba iść. Okej. Pytanie, przebywasz tu bez pozwolenia, to jest ciekawe. Czemu mnie strażnicy nie łapią? Którym przybiegam przed twarzą.
We should stick to the main plaza, unless you like getting soaked by the rain.
Okej, on jest tam po tamtej stronie. Tędy. Tyle idę. Pomyliło mi się przejścia.
I don't recall sending for anyone. What do you want? No. I can always make time when it comes to an old friend. So, what would be the reason? I may consider Ryujin an ally, but Dalton especially knows I don't give anything blindly. As long as it doesn't involve the Syndicate members themselves, I'll tell you what. I'll make sure the Syndicate lets you in hassle-free, provided you do a little something for me. And what mutual benefit would that be? I think we can work something out. All right. You talk a good game. And I suppose if we're looking at a mutually beneficial situation, there's no reason for me not to allow such a small favor. Check in with Ms. Moore at Frankie's. I'll send word along that you're to be expected, so she shouldn't give you any trouble. Fair warning, the Syndicate should let you search any common areas, but if anyone catches you snooping around private quarters, I'll just say, be prepared for some hostilities.
Okej. No dobra, to lecimy teraz do kryjówki syndykatu. Najpierw jednak do tego miejsca. To jednak opcjonalne. Dobra, bo są zawsze dwa przejścia przecież tutaj. Można pójść tędy albo tamtędy. Chyba jakoś źle idziemy. No właśnie.
Hope you're a paying customer. Oh, you're the one getting special treatment. Huh. I knew you was some sort of trouble. I've got one rule for you in there, so it shouldn't be hard to remember. Third floor is off limits. They catch you snooping around, and it's open season. I'm more of an honorary member. I let them take up residence in the back, keep things looking legit. They keep this business afloat, so finances don't keep me up at night. I'm more of an honorary. They keep this business. It ain't a threat if it's a rule, now is it? Don't worry. She wouldn't be allowed up there either. For the record, I'm only granting you access because I have to. You'll find that young lady you're looking for holed up in a room almost straight ahead. Just remember to keep your eyes on the prize. The less you consider this an open house, the better.
Okej. Skąd ona wie, kogo szukamy? A, tu kurde, jest wejście przez lodówkę, ty.
Let's, stay away from Ebside. The locals there don't exactly appreciate the tourists.
Gruba ryba syndykatu. No nieźle, 50 level.
Well, this amount of firepower is a bit of overkill, wouldn't you say?
Catch sight of the boss?
No, you?
I figured our paths would cross sooner or later. Not that I thought I was safe, but I never expected anyone to just slip by all the syndicate here. I had a feeling you'd be the one to come after me. You stay in this business long enough, you get enough favors and connections that can help you see anything coming. Nyx owed me a favor and gave me the heads up. Yes and no, but mostly no. Just hear me out, okay? Yeah? And I didn't look guilty before, based on those files you got from Nyx? Ularu set me up. Yes, I've been acting as a double agent, but because she ordered me to. The assignment was meant to deceive, not benefit. And Project Dominion is way above my pay grade. It'd be impossible for me to deliver it. At least, intentionally. Of course. But first you have to understand, she used me to play an unwitting part in this, so I'm the one that takes the fall. That's why I said it'd be impossible for me to intentionally pull this off. I'm not the one with motive here. First, I'm not about to reboot my life. Second, I'm not spending the rest of my life looking over my shoulder for the next field op they'd send after me. Look, I only know about Project Dominion because I wanted to know exactly what I was being accused of leaking. But that tech is dangerous. An internal neuroamp that can theoretically control other people? If the evidence points to me, it's because Ularu used it to set me up. What better way to frame someone than to take control of their mind and have them actually perform the actions?
The existence of a device that can control a person's mind is terrifying. Imagine the horrors you could... Oh, never mind. I don't want to think about it.
Because she knows I'm the most believable target. I'm the only one at Ryujin with the skills to even come close to being able to pull off a job like this. Power, of course. Corporations maintain their success by any means necessary, but there are some measures Masako is reluctant to take. You may have noticed that none of your assignments directly involve murder. Masako reserves those actions only when it's absolutely necessary. Ularu sees this as a sign of weakness that needs to be dealt with. It's the only scenario that makes sense. Besides, what's my motive? My career is solid at Ryujin. Infinity can't possibly beat my current benefits. Believe me, after having to play double agent, I've learned all of this firsthand. Yes, it's what the technology does, and it explains why the evidence against me is so solid. Come to think of it, it also explains a few strange bouts of disorientation I've been having the past few months. That's exactly what I've been doing here. Ularu has the skill to pull this off, but she's also been behind a desk for years now. I knew she'd miss something. This slate holds all the evidence against her. I just need you to deliver it to Dalton. It's the only way I can prove I'm innocent. Nix's contract limits his investigation to Ularu's computer and her network activity. I hacked into building security and was able to recover deleted records of her accessing the Project Dominion prototype. I guarantee the third-party company Dalton is using for his security directive Theta won't even notice it. I can't do that. The moment I step in that building, Dalton will lock me up, and Ularu will be on high alert. You really are naive when it comes to corporate culture. Once I'm back at Ryujin, Ularu will be looking to tie up any loose ends. So I can stay here and deal with you, or I can go back and deal with her. Which is why I'm hoping you'll take this evidence to Dalton. Of course you do. Look, if you just bring this slate to Dalton, I'm sure he'll understand, but if I go with you, everything is ruined. It's your choice. Do you want the truth? Or do you just want to be Employee of the Month? I was hoping you would. I'm still going to lay low until I hear the coast is clear. As long as Ularu still thinks I'm on the run, she'll remain confident that her plan is working. And I know you don't hear it much around the office, but thanks.
So Ularu is the actual culprit. That complicates things. We're going to have to proceed very carefully, or else Dalton might send someone after us.
No dobra, i co my mamy teraz zrobić? To jest zajebiste pytanko. Na pewno nie wchodzić na piętro wyżej.
I'm watching you.
Spoko. Przejście, skrytka przez lodówkę, no hit po prostu. Nadzieja umiera ostatnia, nie? Ty piaro. Chyba mnie zauważyła. To sobie miałem, przecież mam to w dupie. Nie chcę się z nią konfrontować i do od razu do typa.
Quick piece of advice. We hear the name Benjamin Bayou, and we should duck the other way. Fast.
Well, look who's back. So tell me, what did you find out? If you think I'm paying for that information, think again. It's just a matter of time before it finds its way onto my desk. And I can be a very patient person.
Opcjonalne jest gadanie z nią. Idziemy do Daltona. Dobra, ale też zakończymy ten odcinek w tym miejscu. Dzięki serdecznie za oglądanie. Zostaw kciuka, subskrypcję, dzwoneczek, wbijaj do linku w opisie i miłego popołudnia. Cześć.